Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about boilers. In the last episode, I went over rotational energy in the create mod, and I went over stress. And the more machines you have running on a single grid of rotational energy, the more stress you will have. And sometimes it can become overbearing, too stressful for the system. And in the last episode, we encountered that problem, and I counteracted it by making a windmill, a wind turbine up here. We can see it back here. Look at that, little wind turbine. And we have this water wheel that produces rotational speed. But the water wheel and the turbine are not the only ways to get rotational speed. The best way in this mod pack is to make what is called a boiler, which is very simple and very easy to make, and I will be going over that today with you guys. Made this little room back here so we can make our little boiler area. So to start out, we're going to need to make what is called a fluid tank. Very easy to make. You need barrels and copper plates, which we have. We'll just make, well, we only have 2 of those. I have been making some copper plates, so I've got a little bit in here. So in order to make boilers, we're going to need a lot of copper plates. So it's a really good idea to have one of these mechanical presses set up for automatic plate pressing. That way we can just get them crafted. We're going to need a lot of copper for this section of the mod. So boilers are made using these fluid tanks, and these fluid tanks can be configured in 3 specific configurations. You could have just a 1 tall or a 1x1 fluid tank, just 1 block wide, or you could have a 2x2, just like that, or you could have a 3x3, like that, and build it all the way up. These are the 3 different sizes of the tanks that you can make. And for our boiler, we are going to be using the 3x3 method. One really cool thing about this mod, and it's like mechanics, is something I really enjoy. I think most mods should have the ability to place 9 down at once when you're doing something like this. Look at that, it makes it so much easier and faster to build. I love it. So I said we were going to be making a boiler, and what a boiler is it's basically just a giant tank of water that you heat up to really high temperatures and it produces steam. And that steam will be used to create rotational speed using like a steam thing. Where is it? Steam thing. A steam engine, yeah. And for today's video, I think we're gonna make ourselves some engineer's goggles, which is in the create mod. They allow you to see the stress level of certain components. And these goggles allow you to see the different stress impact on your grid, on your system. Look at this, that's 320 stress units, SU, I think that's what it is, stress units. Oh, it can tell you everything. It can tell you what it has in its hand, this deployer at least, tell you what it has in its hand and the stress impact on the whole system. So now that we have our tank set up, let's get ourselves some water pumped into it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put some water down right here, make a little infinite water source block right there, and we're going to get ourselves some pipes. Like I said, we're going to be using a lot of copper for this episode, so make sure you have a lot, because this stuff ain't cheap. Alright, so we need a lot of pipes. Give ourselves like half a stack or so. And we're gonna need what's called a mechanical pump. This is what's gonna be used to pump the water into our tank. And it's used with a pipe and a cogwheel. We'll just get like 2 of those, should be fine. We'll place them just like this. There we go. And you want to pay attention to these arrows right here. These denote where the water is gonna be pushed. It's either gonna be pushed like that arrow, or you get a wrench like that, is gonna be pulled just like that. And when you get these things spinning, if they're right next to each other, they're actually going to go into opposite directions because how the cogwheels rotate. If they're right next to each other, they rotate in opposite directions. Let's get our pipes lined up just like so, right in the center here, and move it on down into the water. Look at that. Those are going to go up into the pumps. And what we are going to do is we're going to put a large cogwheel, one of these bad boys, put it right here. Look at that. What that's going to do is it's going to allow both of these to spin faster than this wheel. This will make these spin faster. Now let's just hook it up to our system. And you know, I'm actually going to move this. Alright guys, so I just moved the mechanical pumps over to this side instead of this side over here, just so we can get it closer to our rotational system right here. And what I'm going to do is something a little cheeky and very ingenious, I should say. Is I'm gonna put a vertical gearbox right there, and I'm going to put one shaft right there, and then another vertical gearbox right here. Get the whole thing moving. And now you see, since I got it moving, these actually changed directions. So pay attention to the arrows. We're just gonna flip that around right there. The only way you can flip it around is if you have one of these wrenches. So be sure to make one of those. This thing can hold 504 buckets of water. That is kind of crazy. If you right click these pipes with a wrench, you can change them from opaque and glass, so you can actually see the flow of the water moving. It's very nice. Same with these fluid tanks. Right click it, glass, no glass. You know, glass, no glass. No glass, glass. Oh boy, this is going to take a while to fill up. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add a couple more mechanical pumps. Maybe add one right there and right there. That's what I'm going to do now that I've said that out loud. Oh no, wrong way. No, don't pour the water out. Don't pour the water out. That's not what I wanted. Do a little bit of that. There we go. Get some more water in there. And look at that. I got a nice little view of my setup right here. Actually, what I think we're going to do is I'm going to add mechanical pumps all the way up. Just get a lot of water flow in there. But you may notice that this thing's called a boiler, but it's not actually boiling anything. So what we're going to need to do for that is we're going to need to make some more blaze burners. Exactly what I talked about in the previous episode. We need some blaze burners. I put these blocks here as a little placeholder for the blaze burners. They're going to go right underneath this fluid tank. And yeah, we need, how many do we need? 9 blaze burners. That's quite a lot. But I think we can do it. Let's do it. First, we're going to need some anti-blaze casings, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now let's go to the nether. Ooh, back to the nether. Target acquired. Target captured. Ah, alright, we got our blazes. Nice, got our blazes. Look at them, they look so cute. And one thing to note, you don't actually need to cover every spot underneath the boiler with blaze burners or anything, and you can use like campfires or like I think it's just campfires and blaze burners, honestly, but you don't need to cover every space underneath, but for the best efficiency and the best output, you do. So you can get by with like, you know, just a couple, but we're gonna use all 9 spaces just to get the full potential of this thing. Another thing to note with these blaze burners is the more you have, the more fuel you're going to require. And these blaze burners require a lot of fuel. But one very simple way to automate this is with these things called mechanical arms. Let's get ourselves one of them. Oh, we need a precision mechanism. Oh, that's difficult. Now to craft these mechanical arms is not very hard to make as long as you have brass plates and andesite alloy and brass casings. But the hard part about it is this precision mechanism. The precision mechanism is a difficult thing to craft. Well, not really difficult, but it takes a bit to make. You gotta get a gold plate, so you need to have some kind of mechanical pressing, and you gotta send it through a whole process. You gotta get deployers to deploy it with cogwheels and large cogwheels and an iron nugget, and you gotta repeat that process 5 times. And it's only an 80% chance that it will make it. So it can actually be, you know, you could go through the entire process and it just won't make it. So let's try to get this little setup made. Shouldn't be too difficult as long as we get the deployers right. Where should we put it? So we might be able to put it right here. Might be a thing we can do. So what I'm thinking is, let's see. First, let's make our deployers. So we're gonna need 3 deployers, which is, again, not too hard to make, but, you know, as long as you have the resources. Hey guys, Future Me here. I tried to automate this, but I just couldn't do it. I spent like the last 30 minutes doing it, and I just couldn't figure it out. So I decided to do it by hand, and I'll explain what I did in just a minute. I've got these 3 chutes up here, one containing cogs, the other one containing large cogs, and the last one containing iron nuggets, which is all the 3 components to make the precision mechanism. And it's just being piped into these deployers, and then I wanted to automate this, but that's not happening for now. So I'm just gonna pick it up, throw it on there. It's gonna do whatever it wants. And we got a precision mechanism. Look at that. Man, that took way too long. I have a headache. No. Oh, okay. But what that means now is we can make our mechanical arm. All of this so that we can power our boiler, which I didn't think was gonna take this long. So with this mechanical arm that we now have, finally, after painstakingly losing our minds, what you want to do is you want to assign it some inputs and outputs. Outputs being these blaze burners and inputs being this depot with coal on it. So we're just going to right click with that. It's going to be blue. That means input. And you're going to right click on all your outputs. These, which is going to be like this yellowish orange color, which is supposed to be output. This other one's a little difficult to get to. There we go. And you just go around and click on all of them. And then place it. And look at that. It just goes down the line, giving them all they need. And I don't know the range on this thing exactly. As far as I know, it can, you know, if you place on this corner, it can reach to this corner, obviously. Very useful item to have because it will, you know, keep your blazes stocked. And since we have like near infinite coal, I mean, we have millions of it, it should never run out. And now we have our boiler halfway set up. Last thing for us to do is to make ourselves a steam engine, which is not too hard. We just need gold plate, andesite, and blocks of copper, which, you know, like I said, we need a lot of copper for this, but let's get ourselves like 6 of these. So this mod has different classifications for your boilers. And by that, I mean it has different levels for how big your boiler is. Depending on how big it is, it can support a different number of boilers. And I'll show you. Look at that. So ours is a level 8 boiler. That means it can support up to 8 of these steam engines, like that. And how you get a steam engine to work is you just put these steam engines on the boiler and you put a shaft on it, like that. And just like that, we got ourselves a steam engine. It is quite loud. Alright, so we got our boiler set up nice and ready, and we'll just connect it via these shafts like so. Oh, it looks so good. Let's see how it looks from the other side. Look at that. That's a pure genius. A work of pure genius. A masterpiece even. Anyways, I'm done tooting my own horn on that. So, with this boiler, the boiler is the highest form of stress or a rotation producing mechanism. I think how you can call it that. But anyways, with my engineer's goggles, I can, like I showed you guys earlier, I can see the rotational capacity of these generators. So like this water wheel has 320 stress units. Our wind turbine, let's go check it out. Our wind turbine has 5,632 stress units capacity, which that is insane. I could probably do whatever I wanted, you know, off of that. But our boiler, I don't know if you saw it earlier, but with these 8 steam engines on it and all the heat we're producing with these burners, our boiler has 131,000 stress units capacity, which is crazy to say the least. We could probably just use this one boiler to power anything that we want to make, which, you know, we're gonna make a lot of stuff with Create. Hopefully I can get into that in later episodes, but yeah. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys learned a lot and were semi-entertained by my rambling and my frustration. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.